2012 multiple choice questions calculator. So the first one you guys asked me about was number, let me get to it, I think it's number 79. So on number 79, what I'm looking for on this is it says a particle moves along the x-axis given v of t is the velocity and a of t is acceleration. Which of the following gives the average velocity? So if you're trying to find the average velocity, there's one of two ways you could do it. You could do x of 8 minus x of 0 divided by 8 minus 0. Or you could do 1 over 8 minus 0, the integral from 0 to 8 of the velocity. Do you see how those are actually the same thing? But only one of them shows up in this one. I mean, this is kind of close, and this is kind of close. They use the right numbers, but they don't use them in the right way. But B is clearly the second one here. So they're really pretty close. I mean, if you integrate this one and you integrate velocity into position, you get the other side. They're really both the same thing. So that's number 79. Let's look at 86. Let me get to it here in my notes. 86, I thought 86 was a little bit of a challenge. What I did with 86 is the following. So let me get to it. I actually was like, wow, it's a little bit of a challenge. But in 86, you're given that f prime of x is greater than 0. So that means f needs to be increasing. And the integral from 4 to 7 of f of t dt needs to equal 0, which means we have to have the same amount of f above and below the x-axis. Because that's the only way we're going to get an integral to equal 0 if f is increasing. So what we have to kind of realize is when we look at these, take a look at this one. F of x is increasing, so that kind of establishes our first one. But notice how we're starting negative when we just get to 0. That wouldn't suffice our second thing that we need to have happen, because you got to have this one and you got to have this be true. So A doesn't work out with that. B is the one that works out because it's an increasing graph and some of it's below the x-axis, negative. Some of it's above the x-axis, so that could work out with this. So B is the actual answer. Looking at C, notice that C is an increasing function and then a decreasing function. That violates our first one there. D is not an increasing function at all. And F, although it's an increasing function, it's always positive, which means the integral will never equal 0. So that's why B is the right answer. It's almost a process of eliminations on that one. Okay, let's look at 88. 88 is a tricky problem. It's a related rates problem that deals with similar triangles. So 88, you got this situation right here. And on 88, you got this lamppost, and you got this person. And the lamppost is 15, and it doesn't change. The person is 6 feet, and that doesn't change. What you have is you have x here, and you have y here. And they tell you dx dt is equal to 4. And the question is asking you, what is dy dt even equal to? And you know that this distance right here is x plus y. Well, from this diagram, you know x is this part right here, y is this part right here. From this diagram, using similar triangles, what we know is 15 divided by 6 has to equal x plus y divided by y, using similar triangles. Now, based on that, we know 15y is equal to 6x plus 6y if we cross multiply. If we differentiate this, 15 dy dt is equal to 6 dx dt plus 6 dy dt. And if we keep on going with this, we have 9 dy dt is equal to 6 times 4, because dx dt was 4. So we have dy dt is equal to 24 divided by 9, which is approximately 2.667. So that's the answer for that one. Last one, number 90. So let me get to number 90 on my notes to make sure I steer you in the right direction. Number 90 looks like this. And this is a tricky one because there is a u substitution involved with this one. You know you got this integral from 6 to 12 of f of 2x dx is equal to 10. Well, let's just look at the left side of this. If u is equal to 2x, then du is equal to 2 dx. So 1/2 du is equal to dx. The key on this now is the integral of f of u times 1/2 du is equal to 10, but the bounds are going to change because remember this is x equals 6, which means if you use x equals 6 and this 2x, the bottom bound is 12. This is x equals 12, so this is 24. Now if you look at it and you go, okay, well I don't have that 2 in there, well that 1/2. Well, let's just move the 1/2 in the other side because it's just a constant. We can move that constant over. So the integral from 12 to 24 of fu du is equal to 20, and that's B. Went through those really quickly. If you have other questions, please let me know. I'd be happy to help you.